Hey guys, Mark and Sauce here. We're at a house in Santa Ana today. Now we're not sure we're going to buy this house yet. We're not even sure we're going to make an offer yet. So this is a pre-offer inspection. 2-bedroom, 1-bath house. It's listed at $499,900. Pretty cute house so far. I kind of like it. I think that it has a lot of potential, but there's a couple of drawbacks. It backs up to a shopping center, and I've noticed there's some fellers hanging around back there drinking some beers and having a good time. So that could be a negative, but maybe whoever purchases here, maybe it's not going to be a big deal to them. But anyway, the house itself, super cute, super textbook flip. So let's go take a look inside. I'll tell you exactly what I think we're going to have to do here to make the money, okay? The quick and dirty on this one. So we're going to need to do windows, doors, floors, drywall repairs, take a wall out, do the kitchen, do the bathroom, pretty much everything, along with electrical and plumbing. So let's take a look at what we need here. It's got existing wooden floors, which are beautiful, but there's a lot of termite damage. I think we can make the necessary repairs to put a floor over the top of it, but we can't save this one. Just not going to happen. This wall would come out and we would open the kitchen up. It'll make this whole room look much bigger. This is a very small house. The square footage here is 747, so it's a tiny 2-bedroom on a big lot. Kitchen-wise, we'll raise this window up so we can put counter across here. We'll move the sink over in front of this window probably. We'll make a bar here, and we'll just continue our counters around. What we may do is even make an eat-in area over here. This paneling has to go. If it doesn't flex, there's drywall or there's plaster underneath. Another issue here is this old floor heater. That's got to go. That's a death trap right there. Although they still operate, they're still repairable, I'd still just put a wall heater in here. This house probably wouldn't get air conditioning. If it was a little bit more expensive, maybe on the $700,000 range, I'd put AC in, but a wall heater will suffice here. Really basic back here. We have one tiny bedroom that has been set up to lock. So it's got the deadbolt here, top and bottom. So don't know what they had, but I'm sure it was something. Bathroom wise, super simple bathroom. We're gonna put a tub in, we'll put tile in, we'll put a new vanity, a new toilet. Voila, we're done. If these doors all match, which it looks like they do, we'll probably just reuse these doors. These are three panel solid core doors. They'll look good repainted. There's a little wildlife here. Don't pet the animals. But all in all, this bathroom is a super easy remodel. I don't see any issues here. The only big issue here is the plumbing. I did notice that there was copper. We might be able to save that. I don't know how old it is, but I'm gonna put in some money for that just in case. This is another small bedroom. You know, it is what it is. We've got a very small house here, but people will eat this up. Look at the size of this lot back here. This yard goes back forever. So there's a couple of options on this property. We could actually, the city of Santa Ana will allow us to build what we call an ADU. And what that is a separate little structure out back that you could rent out or perhaps put like a mother-in-law quarters type thing. So this lot and the size of this house, they would allow that back there. That would add a lot of value to this house. We just have to see if the comps support that. Oftentimes you overbuild for the neighborhood. That may very well be the case here. But you would in essence have 2 houses on 1 lot, which would make it much more valuable. As a rental, if we were deciding to keep it, that would make this probably a definite yes. But because of the shopping center across the street, I'm not sure that I want that kind of liability. As a sale though, a lot of people aren't gonna mind that. So that's what the inside of the house is gonna look like when we're done. This is a simple one. I've already looked at the roof. The roof was redone a couple of years ago, so I'm good with that. There's a few redeeming things here. There's not everything is bad. Right now I want to go check out the electrical panel and the water heater and see exactly what we've got to deal with outside. But as I said, so far, looks okay. Hey, look, it comes with AC. Stucco's not in horrible shape. I think we just repaint this. Definitely replace the windows, but looks like this is the water heater. So look, water heater's new. Yeah, it's within the last 2 years, so we're keeping that. And there is copper here, so we just have to make sure that the copper plumbing that's here is good. I see some corrosion here. That doesn't scare me. It just means that this at one point, this connection before they replaced the water heater, the water was leaking down. That's not a big deal. Easy to get to the shower valve too. So right there, you can get to the back of the shower valve. That's actually a big plus. And there's something crawling on my head right now, and I'm really not happy about it. What is it? Do you see it?
Oh, that's right.
Ah! Oh, Jesus. Bastard. That wasn't funny. I don't mind spiders, I just don't like them on me. So one of the things that people overlook a lot on these properties, and they don't really account for it, is fencing. They get all done with everything and they get all their numbers together and they forget about fencing, which is super expensive. I think you're looking at something like, $3,000 or $4,000 to replace the fences here. And that's cheap price. That's if I get my guys to do it. So don't forget your fencing. On this one, they've done steel posts. We're looking good here. On this side, this fence looks good. Huh, interesting. So that's the 5 freeway right there. But I don't hear it, do you? Yeah, that's a sound wall right there, and guess what? It's doing its job. Big backyard. I think I would probably put an ADU back here. I would put the money into it. Probably cost about 60 or 70 grand to put a 1-bedroom, 1-bath back here. And that would up the value here by at least 150 grand. So that would be big. So this is the garage door. We can't get in here, although we've been able to kind of peek through there and we can see it's a single car garage, which is fine for this area. No gate, which is kind of a safety thing. I like that, no gates. Yeah, I mean, worst case scenario is we come in and spray paint these fences. People are gonna be thrilled. These fences are in way better shape than most houses. I'm happy with that. Oh, look, it's a spare bedroom. So yeah, this isn't really, this'll go. So last night when we came by here to film, I didn't realize how much beer we drank. That's amazing, dude. I don't even feel a thing. Modelo time. Panel. Ah, there we go. 20 amp, 20 amp, 15 amp. Yeah, we'd have to change out this meter. We don't have to, really. We can just do a quickie here. Mint. I'm trying so hard to be hip, man. So hard. All right, let's boogie. I like this one. I think we should put an offer on this. I think this house is worth about $625 fixed up. They're asking $499. And I'm thinking without the ADU, that's a separate case. It's gonna cost us probably about 80 grand to fix this up. Downside is the shopping center across the street, but let's say we get $625, $650 for it. We probably have to come in with 80 grand. I'm doing this in my head, guys. We probably need to be around 425, 450 on this one. I have to sit down and do the math. Yeah, let's do it when we get back to the office, we'll figure it out. But I like it. But either way, a flip or a rental is awesome. I love this area, Santa Ana. The house prices are a little bit low, but the rent prices are just as high as everywhere else. Cute house, super cute. Let's make an offer. I bet she's owned it since the beginning of time. Yep. So, I have that half a burrito in the fridge. Yep. Basically, we've got a purchase price. They're asking $499. So we're going to kind of work backwards on this. So on a project like that, on a flip, I want to make 40 to 50 grand. So I'm going to put in 50K. Based on my experience, because I've done this a million times, I really think that we can do a nice rehab there for about 75 grand. We may get away with less. So we're going to come in at 425. And I always do my numbers based on a 6-month hold. This one might not take that long, but you know what? Let's just do it anyway. So we got 425. We have closing costs of 1%. So 425 times 1% equals, of course, 4,200. So we'll just say 4,000. We have a rehab of 75. That's going to come to 504. Thank you. And we're going to pay 9% interest. So that's a yearly interest rate at 9% of $45,000. That's $3,780 per month. And we're going to multiply that times 6. And so we got $22,680. And that's our all in. I'm thinking that house is worth about $650 when it's done. So $650 times for sales costs. So we're going to figure 3.5% sales costs because we'll list it ourselves. And we'll pay the other agent 2.5% plus 1% closing. So we'll do 650,000 times 3.5%. So that's 22,750. And in the 75,000, I put in a few $2,000 or $3,000 for holding costs for property taxes, utilities, and things like that. So don't ever forget that. Actually, I put in 5. So I figured that rehab's going to be about 70. So normally I'd break that number out too, but we don't have to. But never forget that cost, though. It's super important to remember, because that's $5,000 that's going to come out of your pocket otherwise. So remember, a deal's not a deal unless it's a deal. So if all these numbers don't work where you want them to, then it's not a deal. You got to lower your offer price. So we've got $504,000 all in on this project, $22,000 in interest, $22,750 in selling costs, and that gives us a grand total. So we're at $549, and we want to make $50 on this deal. So we'll add that in. At $425, that gives us a profit margin of about $100,000, which is pretty unheard of in this market. So we're going to have to adjust our offer price. So we're going to have to go to an offer price of about $475 and rerun the numbers, because they're not going to take that low ball of an offer. There's at least too much money on the table. There's too many investors out there that are going to want that. You might think, well, heck, let's see if they take it. It's not going to happen.
Would you assume that there's some really, really optimistic guys out there they're hoping are going to offer over asking?
Oh, yeah. There might be somebody out there willing to take 25 grand, but I'm not willing to do that, so I'll put my offers in until I get one. There's always someone willing to pay more. Depending on your seller, they may go with that guy, and that guy may figure out, shoot, my numbers don't add up. There's guys out there that plaster offers all over the place. And then they hope they get it under contract and hope they can lower the price. I do that if I run into something that I didn't see. Like if I go underneath and I find a meth lab under the house, then I'm either going to cancel it or I'm going to make a way less offer. I'm going to say, yeah, there's a meth lab there. I'm going to take off $100,000 on my offer. You guys can take it or leave it. But I'm more straightforward than that. I usually ask for a reduction simply because I see something that I didn't see before.
Do you think $475 would be like the bottom end of their offers, or in the middle, or do you think?
Nobody knows. Nobody knows. That's why I put the number. The first thing I did is I put the number, the amount that I want to make.
Yeah.
That way my brain doesn't get greedy, because then you're just playing games with yourself.
Yeah.
I want to make 50 grand. I know what I can rehab that house for. I know what my costs are. So I bring all those numbers up to match. So, I'm sure there's some magic mathematical formula that can do that for me, but I don't know what it is. So I just kind of play with it until I get where I want. And so $470K would be what I'd offer on that house, and that'll give me my $50,000 profit. But that is how I would come up with those numbers. So anyway, that's our numbers. So we can go on with $470 offer on that. We're going to tighten up our comps, but that's it. Write the offer, submit it, and then call back 100 times until they get a restraining order against you. And that's pretty much the way you get an offer accepted. So you'll do this, I don't know, 30, 40 times a month to get one or two. Maybe you'll do 100 a month to get one or two. It's just the way the game is played. You may have to let the other agent write it for you. Let them double end it. There's a lot of things you can do to get deals, but right now that's how I do it. I'll look at a place, I'll call the agent, I'll ask them if they've accepted an offer. If they haven't, I'll try to meet them out there. If they're not going to meet me out there, then I'll go out. I'll take a look at it. I'll see how much it's going to cost for the rehab, and then I'll come back to the office, do my math, and then I'll call the agent and I'll say, hey, look, this is where I'm at. Can I write this, or do you want to write it? And they'll say, oh, it's too low. And I'll say, well, just write it anyway and put us in as backup. And at least that way we're in the game, and then you follow up. Follow up every couple of days, especially on a hot property. You're going to have to follow up maybe every day, because it'll actually go in and out of escrow a couple times. All right. Hey, if you like this, please share the video. Please click like. I really appreciate that. And if you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Come on, then you'll get these videos every time. These are the numbers, okay? Right at you. Boom. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it.